Welcome back to West Texas View.
Welcome back to the West Texas View. We're talking about goal setting and how to reorder your life and how to set goals that will really make a difference in who you are and who you will become by setting goals. And this is a topic near and dear to my heart. And Carl Rippey, who works here at K-West, happens to be one of those people that is a goal setter too. So we have come to a meeting of the minds on that, and I asked him to come and share some of his experiences. And so as you began to see that goal setting was really important in your life, how did that change the direction in your life? For example, you started out to do one thing after you got out of high school, and then how did you change those things?
Well, as you said in the first segment, it's a very fluid situation, and as we go through our different steps, it morphs perhaps into the next thing. So as if you're climbing a ladder.
Good.
So you have a chance to really bring out the best of yourself and apply it to whatever goals that you have.
Unless you give in to the world and
Right.
let the world determine what you're going to do and be and have, and that's not the way to go.
No, it isn't, and that's a reality, and that's the tough part of what we're talking about. So hopefully you've got a pen, you've got a paper, you've got something to write with and something to write down on. That's the first step. And we're talking about getting over some of these obstacles and how people will tell you every possible thing they
Why
can
it
think
can't
of
happen.
to make it so that you aren't as confident in your goals as maybe you once were. But let me tell you, if you have it in your heart, if it is something that has given you
Excitement
pause
and
has excited you, and you have taken the time to write it down, I guarantee you it is worth following through on. And it could be,
and it is possible.
and it is possible. And that's we talked about the law of attraction and the different things that we can create ourselves by being positive and by repeating these. So again, the first step, write it down. The second step is to kind of qualify why you are going to accomplish this. I mean, there are many reasons. Stephen Covey, he's a great presenter and a motivator, and he's has accolades and success. He wants to help other people. That is his main goal, and he'll come right out and tell you that. And we've talked also about life being so short. And fragile. If we knew that we only had a few days to live, what would we do? I mean, it changes your perspective. What do we want to give back to the community? Because that's really what we're talking about, what we leave as far as a legacy. It isn't just that we've written these goals down to accomplish it for us. It is that we have written these goals down and want to accomplish these things so that it helps others, so that others then perform better, they feel better about themselves, the community feels better, and in turn that makes a better environment for all of us.
Just little things, and I don't really know whether you're a parent or not, but little things like being a parent. My husband and I didn't have a child until we sat down and made sure that our goals were the same for parenthood and discipline and all of the things that went into a child. And the day she was born, we put $1,000 in a savings account in her name so that she would be a millionaire when she was 65, no matter what.
That's cool.
And the other thing is that her education was totally paid for, not by inheritance, not by anything except planning ahead and saving for it. And so those are part of your goal setting. I don't want to have a child until I'm ready to have a child, and that means ready to take care of that child.
Yes.
In every way. And so in career changes, I think this is the thing that people notice more about goal setting is, how did this change your direction when you went this direction and you said, this is really not making me happy. I've got talents that I'm not using that I want to use. And so you went another direction.
And that is an evolution that we all go through. A lot of times it's because we didn't research enough. And so what I encourage people to do is learn all you can
about you.
about yourself, or about where you're going. It isn't necessarily that you have to do all of those things, but if you know what you're getting into, it helps in your tailoring your end result. And in terms of career, I have had some really rough experiences, and I can relate to people that are depressed or people that are down or people that are just completely overwhelmed, because it is easy to get in that situation, especially in the fast-paced world that we live in today. So many things going on. I mean, and it's going to get a tank of gas. I mean, it's sometimes just overwhelming. So you have to break these things out in steps. And if you're in that spot where you're having a rough time, let me tell you that it will pass. It's just a matter of persistence. You may not be able to even get out of bed. You may just have enough energy to put your feet over the edge of the bed, and then you're just lay back and think, I can't do it. Well, I feel for you. I know how that is. The next time you sit up, maybe you have a chance to get and stand up on the floor and you don't lay back in the bed. I mean, it's just a matter of succession.
Step at a time.
Step at a time.
And the interesting part about that is that you are motivated every step you take. That motivates you to take the next step. I know when I was 18 and thinking about what I wanted to do and what I wanted to study in college and so on, one of the things that I made a goal for, and I have kept it up, is that every 10 years I would totally change. And the reason is because I wanted to stay fresh and excited about life. And you don't do that by staying the same your whole life. God made us to grow and develop what was down inside us. And even so, we will still hardly even touch 15% of what we could become.
That is so true. And you know, that's remarkable, Johnny Lou. We really should be interviewing you.
No, but isn't it funny? Albert Einstein, who had accomplished so much before he died, said, I have hardly scratched the surface of the things I could be or do or have if I had focused on that. And that's what we want to talk about when we come back, is how to focus it, looking at these next steps and how to take the next, and how to put it down on a plan of action so that we make sure we take those steps. We'll be back in just a minute and continue this conversation.
Stay tuned. West Texas View will be right back.